And so I was like, I said, you want to clarify?
The toughest to play
against, right?
Yeah, not toughest like physically.
Right.
Okay, got it.
So you want to clarify? I said, what was the criticism? He said, and now Coach Dungy goes back. People don't realize that Coach Dungy actually played with the Steelers. He led them in interceptions one year, Skip, the year they won the Super Bowl. And then, he said, I got tired of being traded and bounced around, and so I got into coaching. He was defensive coordinator at Pittsburgh. He was a DC in Minnesota and Kansas. So, Skip, he's been around the block. And he says, for me, Shannon, guys that have an added dimension of the legs, that's what I'm judging. And I'm not saying, and he said, I'm not saying Tom Brady wasn't great, because he is great. He said, but the fear of a John Elway or Steve Young or guys that have, Aaron Rodgers, that have legs to get out of harm's way, we got the perfect defense call, and there's nothing there. He could take off and get a first down, or he could take off and then throw the ball over your head. So that's what I judged it against. But now Brady did go. Now what Jenny didn't mention, that he's talking about 214. Coach Dungy had been retired almost a decade by then. So that wasn't his team the 214 finalists.
2014.
Right.
Yeah.
Tony wasn't the coach then.
Okay.
Chuck Pagano was. The last time he saw Tony beat him in the AFC Championship game. You remember that, right?
38-34 at Indianapolis.
You remember that, right?
Yep.
Okay, so with that being said, now Brady did go 5-3 against Tony Dungy, 2-1 in the playoffs. And Brady had 14 touchdowns and 11 interceptions. That's not the greatest, but this is what Skip Bayless. Now, I've been trying to tell people, and you can know I'm not capping or lying in this situation. Skip Bayless has told me countless times Tom Brady would never respond to criticism like a LeBron James does. Michael Jordan would never respond. And lo and behold, what we found out is that Tom Brady is human, that he will respond to criticism. Tom, I appreciate that plug. Club Shake Shake, we got like 500-600 extra subscribers, thanks to you. Appreciate that. But Skip, I just think that Tony Dungy has a point. Skip, I don't take offense.
So you rank Tom sixth?
No. I don't take offense if someone says Tony Gonzalez or Jason Witten was tougher to defend. Skip, they're bigger. They may have bigger catch radiuses. They're tougher to tackle. They're 240, 250. Shannon was 225. That's okay, Skip. That doesn't diminish what I've done. That doesn't diminish what Tom's done. Because someone else might be tougher, that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't diminish what you've done, Skip.
That all you got to say for yourself? By the way, before I launch on this, and I'm about to unleash on this, the story I read, he doesn't identify the fifth quarterback. I count Peyton and then Aaron Rodgers, John Elway, Steve Young, but there's one missing link here to get to six. Does he have Tom sixth, fifth, or sixth?
Don't get into semantics. He's just not number one. Where you and most people would have him on everybody's list, he's not number one.
Okay.
So let's deal with that.
All right. Now I'm going to deal with Coach Dungy. He is obviously a spiritual man, a religious man, and for that I have the utmost regard and respect. But in a football context, this is pure blasphemy. For all the respect I've had for Coach Dungy, he just undercut about half of it with one statement here, because it's just preposterous. It's just foolishness. It's just such utter disrespect for the obvious GOAT at the toughest position to play in all of sports, quarterback. And I get it that, if you want to say running quarterback, moving quarterbacks, mobile quarterbacks are tougher to defend. But he started with his guy, Peyton, right?
Yes.
Because that's the guy he coached in Indianapolis. They did win a Super Bowl in the rain in Miami against Rex Grossman as the opposing quarterback.
Well, you won one against Jared Goff.
Okay. But
Jake Delhomme.
He's won 6 out of 9 that he played in. And remember, he should have won 2 more.
He should have lost 3.
No, he should have won 2 more. He had Eli beaten with a 65-yard drive with 2 minutes left. He threw a touchdown pass to Randy Moss. And all Belichick had to do was stop Eli Manning from scoring a touchdown, not a field goal, a touchdown, and Tom wins another ring. All Belichick had to do was hold Nick Foles under 33 points, and Tom has an 8th
So
ring.
what about the Rams? What if they'd have stopped Tom and not let him get in field goal range?
They didn't.
Okay, then they didn't. You can't can't have it both ways. Well, one team didn't stop him.
We're not talking about the Rams. We're talking about Coach Belichick.
Skip, I'm saying, you said he could have more. I'm saying he could have less.
Okay, so Tom Brady is 30-11 in the postseason.
Okay.
Peyton Manning, his guy, is 14-13. And I want to remind everybody, Peyton Manning in Indianapolis, 7 times he lost his first playoff game as a Colt.
Okay.
In those 7 times, once he was a 1 seed and twice he was a 2 seed. And they lost at home in their first playoff game.
Yeah.
When they were the toast of not only the town, but of the league.
Right.
And they blew it. So that was his reputation.
So Tom Brady never lost his first playoff game?
Okay, well, no, but he won 6 out of 9 Super Bowls. And what is Peyton? He's 2-2.
Yeah.
And what happened to Peyton? He got annihilated by the Legion of Boom, 43-8.
Yeah.
Tom did not get annihilated. He annihilated the Legion of Boom in the fourth quarter with 124 yards passing and 2 touchdowns just in the fourth quarter.
When did we get quality points for close losses?
43-8. It was over like that. It
was over.
Okay, and then it was a 7-point game against New Orleans, and Peyton Manning threw a pick 6. Remember, Tracy Porter took it 78 yards to the house?
I remember.
Okay, so you blew that one also. So how can we put Peyton Manning above Tom Brady? It's just it's foolishness.
So you just looking at Super Bowls. You're not looking at anything else.
But I get it because Peyton is his guy. But now I don't get it because Aaron Rodgers 10 years ago won his one and only Super Bowl. Okay. John Elway, you played with him and for him and love him, and I get it. And he's all-time. He's in my top 5. He was 2-3 in Super Bowls.
How many Hall of Famers on those teams that John took to the Super Bowl, other than Elway, how many other players made the Hall of Fame?
Okay, fair enough. I got it. But still, is he better than Tom overall? I don't think so. I mean, I get it if he's your guy and you want to fight for him.
No, but here's the thing. Some people, and we almost did this topic. Randy Moss went on T.O.'s podcast and says he's 1, T.O.'s 2, Jerry's 3 or 4. Some people might say Randy Moss was tougher to defend than Jerry Rice.
I would say that.
Some people might say T.O. was tougher to defend than Jerry, or he was tougher than Randy. Okay, that's their opinion, but that doesn't mean, Skip, that you take anything from Jerry.
So Coach Dungy put Steve Young ahead of Tom Brady. You just can't do it. You've lost all credibility with me. You've lost all. Steve Young had a long-term reputation.
How many Super Bowls did he win?
He won 1 in 1 try.
Okay, he won 1-0. He's 1-0.
Like Aaron Rodgers.
But he got 2 Super Bowl. He got 2 regular season MVP and a Super Bowl MVP, and he threw 6 touchdowns in 1 game. What's the most touchdowns Tom threw in a game?
I went through so many years of Dallas versus Steve Young.
Yes.
And they just didn't have a lot of respect for him. They thought that he would crack and he would crumble, that he would throw it to them as much as he threw it to his guys.
If they just thought that, why'd they go get Dion? If they thought they had enough to beat him, why'd they go get time?
Well, why did Jimmy Johnson call a radio show to put it in big headline that I guarantee a win over Steve Young's 49ers in the NFC Championship game is because of Steve Young.
The same reason Dabo Swinney voted Ohio State 11th. So when he believed you got the superior team.
Do you think Steve Young is better than Tom Brady? Obviously,
that was Coach Dungy.
Okay, what are you doing? You've left me behind. You've lost me completely. So now let's talk about mobility, shall we? Anybody who really knows the position of quarterback knows that Tom Brady has some of the best pocket feet in the history of this game. I'm not going to say he's at the top of pocket feet, but he is an absolute ballet dancer in the pocket, and it is difficult to master the footwork. The subtle movement required to buy a little bit of time to open a lane to find your third options. It's hard, and his feet are beautiful to watch if you know what you're looking for. Is he going to take off and run it? Obviously, he's not. He ran the ugliest looking 40-yard dash in the history of the combine. I give you that. He also has ballet dancer feet in the pocket.
Skip, I would like to think Coach Dungy played the quarterback position at Minnesota. He was a defensive back in the late 70s with the Steelers. So we're talking about 40-plus years. That might be longer than Coach Belichick has been in the National Football League. And he was on those great Steelers defenses. And he knows great defensive players, and he knows what caused those guys problems. And so for you to say, well, because Tom Brady is so great, well, he is great. That's not what Coach Dungy is saying, that he isn't great. He said the guys that caused me the most problems. I just knew Tom wasn't going anywhere. And if I could just get my guys in the position, we had a better chance. With these other guys, I could be in the right place. But because of their legs, Skip, they could get out of harm's way when Tom couldn't. That's all he's saying. Skip, don't make it more than what it is.
Well, I'm making it a lot because he put him 6th on the list.
Okay, he's 5th.
5th? Who's 5th? I don't know who's 5th.
Maybe talking about Joe.
Coach Dungy got confused.
No, he didn't get confused.
Maybe he just had a bad day.
No, yeah, no bad
Maybe
day.
he's trying to hype your podcast.
No,
I don't know what he was doing. Maybe he was trying to drop a little bombshell so Club Shay Shay could get some national attention.
No, that's not what we do. Well, although a lot of people have picked up some of the things we say. But Skip, no. Because someone is tougher for Skip, it's like it's a like factor. You might like this, and I might like that. That doesn't mean that is better than this.